So I just want to preface this with a story. On July 4th day, I went out with a couple friends, and we were on the porch watching the fireworks, and some older guy was like yelling at a lady with her son, saying, "You don't belong on the porch. You didn't pay to be out here," and whatever. And to be honest, we all paid. You know, the porch I guess was a little bit more of a premium, but I thought if you paid for dinner, you can come outside, whatever. But that wasn't the case. But regardless, we all paid, and she thought the same thing, whatever. But he was going off on her, you know, and I turned around and like, "Sir, she's with her kid. Let her enjoy the show. What's wrong with you?" And then his wife came around, so we're like, got in my face. I was like, "Ma'am, get out my face. What are you doing?" You know. And then one of my friends, you know, I love my Latinas, you know, she came in and stood right in the middle of me and her, like, "Eddie, are you okay?" Like, and the lady was trying to talk to her, and she like, not ignoring her.
See, I don't get in situations like that.
Ignoring her. You know, I would directly deal with a situation. That's crazy. Like, be respectful, you know. And when I got on top of the guy, he backed off, you know.
You got on top?
So, yeah.
Not like that.
you need Jesus. So, got on top. He backed off, you know. So saying that, that's what my reality is, right? However, there's a Jezebel culture that exists of independence and feminism and saying, "I don't need a man." And there's consequences to that culture. You know, that woman was, to me, was undercovering. She had a husband. You know, her husband actually was sitting in the restaurant. He came out for a second and went back in. And I was like, why her husband never talked up for her? You know, it was just crazy, you know. I was like, but that's the issue, whatever, you know. But when you are under God, you are under the patriarchy, the godly patriarchy that exists. Exactly. So you're under his protection. Okay. But if you are out there being anti-God or anti-men, that applies to you. That video completely applies to you. You are independent. You don't need any man. Don't call for a man when it's, "Oh, I need you to protect." There's a Jezebel culture that exists today that is anti-man and anti-order, and don't think men or masculinity have a place in the culture at all. So if you have that belief, that message applies to you 1,000,000%. Protect yourself. Period. You're under no covering. I'm not saying women who are under God. And if you're a single woman under God, you are under covering. You're under God covering. Period. So you're under God. And who's under God covering? Any man of God is going to cover you because you're under God's covering. But when you are not under that, if you are not under God covering or whatever, yes, you